My friends, the ceasefire in Gaza is officially over. How's everyone doing? I'm your favorite white colonizer, Zionist prince, coming to you live from the United States of America. It's actually weird to not be in Israel as the ceasefire has broken out. It's done. And we're going to look at what's real, what's fake. I'm going to give you some of my analysis, what's been building up, and what's to look forward to. But first, let's start with a Fox News report here on the ceasefire.
Very latest out of the Middle East, our own Trey Yangst. Trey, a lot of activity tonight.
Yeah, Sean, good evening. Breaking news tonight out of the Middle East. Israeli fighter jets are currently striking the Gaza Strip. The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is over. The Prime Minister's office releasing a statement early this morning saying from now on, Israel will operate against Hamas with increasing military force. The operational plan was presented late last week by the IDF and approved by the political echelon. Reports from inside Gaza indicate there are extensive Israeli strikes taking place across the Strip in major population centers like Gaza City and the southern city of Rafah. As this story progresses, we will continue to find out more information and determine whether or not Israeli ground forces are involved. But
look, this is what we've been building up to. I'm going to get back to the news report in a second, but keep in mind that last night, as the first Israeli airstrikes were coming in within 30 seconds, Palestinian health ministry, Gaza Health Ministry, reported 150 deaths instantly. Like, there was a delay of 30 seconds between when the rocket touched the ground to when the 150 were announced dead. So all I can say is be prepared for a lot of bullshit coming up, a lot of bullshit on the pro-Palestine side. But that being said, to play devil's advocate, the ruthlessness that the Palestinians are about to see from the Israeli side, it's going to be unlike anything there's ever been before, in my opinion. We have Trump emboldening us to go in harder, to go in deeper, to go in stronger. And I think that Israel is really going to perk up and listen to that, because up until now, Palestinians have been crying, genocide, genocide, this, it's the worst human rights, this, as Israel has been trying to mitigate risk. I'm not saying that Israel is going to take away all its protocols now, but I would be surprised if Israel was not a hell of a lot more risque with the rockets they're bringing down, because that's it. There's only so much you can poke the bear. Hamas had every opportunity to leave Gaza now, to give up the hostages and leave and start rebuilding Gaza. They had every opportunity possible, but no. And the Palestinian people, what are they doing? They're standing right behind Hamas. They had every opportunity, but they just, we'll get into the analysis in a second.
remember, this comes after a nearly 2-month ceasefire that went into effect in mid-January and saw dozens of living hostages freed from Hamas captivity. President Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, has been working overtime in the region, ferrying messages back and forth, not only between Tel Aviv and Washington, but also in cities like Doha and Cairo. The Trump team was working late into this week trying to determine if they could get a last-minute deal together between Israel and Hamas. There was a plan presented that would see 11 living hostages freed from Gaza, exchanged for Palestinian prisoners, but Hamas was simply not willing to accept that agreement. And clearly tonight, the Israelis have gone back to war against this organization inside Gaza. Again, the latest information that we have, Israeli fighter jets are flying over the Strip, striking Hamas targets inside Gaza at this hour. And Israel's Home Front Command, responsible for communicating messages of emergency to the civilian population here in Israel, says that all schools near to the Gaza border have been closed tomorrow, as they are warning the civilian population about the possibility of Hamas and Islamic Jihad rocket fire coming from Gaza. Sean?
And Trey, this on the heels of President Trump's strike against the Houthi rebels and his warning and admonition to Iran, on top of the warning that he gave Hamas. They had a very limited time to turn the hostages over. They didn't do it, and here we are. I expect this will get worse before it gets better. Trey, thank you.
I think that's actually a good analysis from Sean Hannity. It's definitely about to get worse and it gets better. We're off the backs of America striking the Houthi rebel group, issuing pretty bold threats to the Islamic regime of Iran, and generally as the HTS group in Syria and Hezbollah are at war in Lebanon and Syria. So Middle East is in flames, but again, strategically from the partners of the West, Israel and America, we're in a very good position. There's not much to be lost for us right now. At the moment, we have more ground than we did on October 7th. The one thing is, and it's a big one thing, is the hostages that are still remaining in Gaza. And it's the biggest thing. I mean, it's the biggest thing. It's the biggest ammo that Hamas has on us. It's the biggest ammo that the Islamic regime of Iran has on us. Now, as for an assessment of where we go from here, in all seriousness, what's probably going to happen, Hamas in the last 2 months, as we all know, has been stealing aid, stealing food truck materials, stealing everything, and rebuilding and rearming. That's what this whole ceasefire was about. It wasn't about fixing Gaza. It wasn't about progressing towards a better future. It was about Hamas being able to rearm. And every international organization that supported the Palestinian people during the ceasefire is going to see how very much so Hamas this week and the Houthis will start firing rockets at Israel again. There's no chance, no shot that it's not going to happen. So just keep in mind the how they were their rocket supply was diminished over the last year and a half. In 2 months, they were able to rebuild, they were able to rearm, and they will be attacking Israel again with rockets. And we will claim that you guys shot thousands of rockets of us, and the international community will say, well, you have the Iron Dome, so it doesn't count. And we have to keep explaining as to why we will keep attacking Gaza until they stop firing fucking rockets at us. Now, the one big caveat to all of this that nobody's talking about is that Israel managed to thwart a major October 7th style attack yesterday. Hamas had released or had planned a manifesto. All the plan details were leaked. I think somebody on the inside leaked it out, and they were caught in the middle of planning another October 7th style attack now. It was supposed to go into plans very soon. I think if their bets were probably if the ceasefire were to continue, they could keep rearming. They were going to try to go in again and do something again. I've been saying this from the beginning. Believe them when they say they want to do it again, because they've been saying they want to do it again since October 8th. Since October 8th, they've been saying they're going to do it again. And since this ceasefire broke out and we started releasing hostages and exchanging hostages for their terrorists, the terrorists that were released said they will do another October 7th. They have said it over and over and over again. So believe them when they say it. Don't take them, because you are racist and you have no expectations for the people of the Middle East. Don't not believe them. Believe them when they say they're going to do it again. Now, if you support it, that makes you a piece of shit. I can't really, and I think a vast majority of the Arab Muslim population supports them doing another October 7th attack, probably on Ramadan, would somehow, I don't know, give them holy points for heaven. But the reality is, if they say they're going to do it, believe that they're going to try to do it at least. And that's where we're sitting at right now. The Middle East is in flames. We're most likely going to see this get a lot worse before it gets better. We may be moving into a new phase of the war where the brutality of Israel is going to surpass anything we have seen up until this moment. I really don't think that they're going to do much in the sense of trying to protect or trying to do the surgical precision on Palestinian citizens or civilians as they have up until now. Because, to be honest with you, I'm very much sorry to say this. It may sound a little brutal. Palestinian civilians have done a fuck all job, have done a shit job at proving to us that they're not in bed with Hamas. We have seen nothing but major support for Hamas since the ceasefire has broken out. We have not seen not one attempt from Palestinian civilians to try to break away from this group at every opportunity given. And now, I just don't see the remorse from the Israeli side at all. And if you think it was bad up until now, with all your fake crocodile tears, all your fake news, and all your fake deaths, so we know the world sees through your bullshit. If you think it was bad up until now, I think now it's going to get significantly worse. All of that being said, at the same moment, I saw reports coming from the Israeli side on Telegram this morning saying that basically, it looks like this is basically another negotiation tactic. They're going to be placing immense pressure on Hamas and on the Palestinians in the next week, hoping that they capitulate back into the negotiations. And they said that if they come back to negotiating table, they will let off the military campaign. I'm trying to find the exact reporting, but I'm not seeing it. But that's it. We are back to war, ladies and gentlemen. The ceasefire is officially over. The next phase of the war is gonna start now. I assume what we're looking at right now is a situation where Iran, the Islamic regime in Iran, is going to stay quiet. I don't think they want the heat, and they know that Trump will F them up. And they just sunk the Zagros Iranian spy ship yesterday. The U.S. did that in a military strike. So I don't think Iran's going to want to get involved. The Houthis are borderline. I don't want to say the word, but they're borderline. So, Yemen hasn't really produced the smartest thinkers on planet Earth. Besides Luay Ahmed, he's a genius amongst them, and a very smart person. But I think the rest of Yemen, we haven't really seen the production of very smart and capable individuals from this country. So I don't think that the terrorist group nor the people of the country are really going to do anything significant in the sense of rising up or try to escape this terrorist group, or maybe not support the stupid Palestinian cause that doesn't lead anybody to anywhere other than their own pitfall. So we'll probably see the Houthis jumping back into action now and firing rockets at civilian centers at 3 in the morning. We're looking at probably Hezbollah staying out of it as well. I think they're too busy fighting HTS right now. They're busy with their own inter-Islamic, inter-Arab violence that they always do, that nobody's going to report on or talk on, while they kill themselves in the thousands and they massacre Christians and Alawites. We'll turn a blind eye to that one. Nobody's interested in that. That doesn't matter. And then we'll see Hamas just probably fire a bunch of rockets and Palestinian Islamic Jihad at Israeli civilian centers until they eventually run out of rockets, and we're back to square one again. Look, significant progress has been made under the Trump administration. I can't say that it hasn't. We returned, an odd 50-odd hostages back home. We've had a lot of strength in the last 2 months from this. It's been really, really good for us to get those wins of returning the hostages, to expose Hamas for the evil that it is. Let's hope that some intense military pressure on the side of Hamas and the Palestinians will capitulate them back to the negotiating table. Don't think it's going to happen this time around. I just think Hamas has too much to lose by not savagely holding people against their will. I just think that is the point of this terrorist group, right? Why would they end their terrorism? So I think we're entering a new phase of the war now. Probably a lot of fighting. I'm assuming right now, trajectory-wise, unless something happens, ceasefire, like in some sort of coming back to the table of the ceasefire. It looks like this will go on now, maybe until this time next year. I'm not even joking, because through the summer we're usually going to have fighting. That's usually when everybody wakes up, and it's a lot more intense and it's a lot easier to fight. So we're actually coming up into the warmer months. The snow is melting in the north. The temperatures are reducing. They're going to be reducing over the course of the next couple months. So we're probably going to see pretty intense fighting all summer long. This will be another summer of death and violence and terrorism. Thank you to our Muslim, Islamist, jihadist neighbors in the region. Thank you so much to them for bringing on another summer of doom and destruction upon the Middle East. Thank you so much to the Arabs and to the Muslims of the region for continuing to propagate their bullshit narrative, their bullshit way of life. May we see one day the Arab world and the Muslim world grow a pair and step up to the plate and say, we are done with the terrorism. Done with it. We want everybody to live a happy life. We want to have a good summer in the Middle East. Everybody wants to eat hummus in Beirut and have falafel in Tel Aviv and eat some koshery in Egypt, in Cairo. Maybe one day, inshallah, we can get to that point if our Arab brothers and sisters and our Muslim brothers and sisters wake the fuck up and decide that they're not okay with terrorism. But I think we'll be waiting a very long time until that point. So, I don't know. I think we'll just keep on making YouTube videos like this to wake them up, hopefully, if we can. Alright, guys, that's my very sarcastic but real take on what's going on. Keep updated on the channel. I'll update you guys as we go. And for anybody who's listening to this later on, because this may get a lot more views, I am currently in the United States of America. I am on a speaking tour. I just finished a month-long speaking tour in the Caribbean, speaking to Christians and Jews. It was incredible. We spoke to thousands of people. And I'm now in America, going on tour. Going to be in San Francisco, going to be in Dallas, hopefully here in South Florida as well, where I'm at right now. We're looking for places to speak to. We're looking to communities to speak to, whether you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim, doesn't really matter. We're interested in speaking to all of you and bringing Israel to you. So definitely get in contact with me whatever way you can. and let me know if you're interested in me coming to your community, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Please support the channel. See you there. Bye, class. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.